Hey guys, shalom. What's going on? What's going on? Hope all is well. Peace and blessings always. Let's get into the word, man. I'm gonna do about 4 different scriptures, and we're gonna just be bringing things to the light, the things that God wants us to be bringing to the light. Because it's all about giving your people open eye, open ear, letting them hear what's going on. Because you got some people that's they're caught up, in their everyday daily activities. I know how it could be. Some people just get caught up in things that really don't really matter. You know, yeah, a lot of people that still live every day as if they got 100 years or their days are definite. And to be all in all actuality, we don't know if you. It's ignorant to think that you can know, to think that you might you have it in your head said that I'm gonna see 3 years from now. So that when people think like that, they tend to push things back. They tend to, I always say, God, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna commit to you once I do this. I want to act like an animal first, and that's exactly how we think, because I had it in my mind as well. I said I'm gonna live like this, but once I do this, then I'm gonna settle down, and then I'm gonna live for God. Then I'm gonna do what He wants me to do. But in that time frame when you say in that time frame where you doing whatever you want to do, you know, God already knows the destructive road that is ahead of you. In that time span where you said I'm gonna just live how I want to live, you find yourself in a messed up situation. And God already seen that whole situation before you even got to that situation. But that's why God He shows many times. He'll show us. And He'll even use people as examples, as in how you can destroy yourself and the people by being, just hard headed, disobedient, or being zealous to live in the world, to be of the world. We all know how it feels when you have worldly desires that you're trying to fulfill. Everybody wants to be cool. Everyone wants to be, fulfill the lust of the flesh. Want to have money. Want to go overseas whenever they want. I know I know that type of mind frame. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going on a vacation and things like that. But as far as keeping your mind on those worldly things, that does not give your life any substance. And as long as people think like that, the enemy is going to be making implications in the world. He's still going to be moving forward and destroying people. So you see what just happened with that massacre during on July the 4th. So that's what I mean. That's what isn't that about the third or fourth massacre? That's about the third or fourth massacre that happened. And God is trying to he's speaking right now. He's speaking very very loud. And some people don't learn until they get caught up in a situation like that. And God allows them to get out of that situation by a thread for them to to take life serious. Man, even for me, man. Listen, I almost lost my life many times just because I was ignorant and didn't listen to God's voice. And then of that, of course, it also, especially if you grew up in a house where your parents or your family told you to do this. This is what will happen for you if you do this. This is what will happen to you if you do this. Listen to your parents. That's the best thing you can do. Honor your father and your mother. Because not honoring your father and mother, listening to them, can bounce back on you, and it can hurt them at the same time. So we gotta wake up as a people, because right now the enemy's trying to use different people from different regions to war against each other. That's what's going on. You're gonna have people that see and people who don't, and those who are pushing that agenda, they're gonna be destroyed from the face of the earth. God is gonna melt them. It's written how He says He's gonna melt you. So yeah, I'm in the book of Job. We're gonna do Job. We're gonna do Job. We're gonna do Psalms, and we're gonna do Proverbs. I think we're going to do a little bit of Ezekiel as well. So let's go. It says Job chapter 5. We'll go to Job chapter 5 verse, we can start from verse, let me see, verse 18. So we all know how it feels to, stumble and fall, and you find yourself in a situation where you at the bottom looking up, and you asking God to pull you back up. So it says in verse 18, it says, "For he maketh sore, and bindeth up, he woundeth, and his hands make whole." So it says he makes sore. So he will chastise you sore after not doing what he wants you to do, and of course doing things that grieve him. So imagine how a father looks at his child when he's seeing his child being disrespectful at school or daycare after he said it, not act like that, and the teacher reports him and shows him a video of his son going around slapping people. It didn't make him ashamed. So same thing how God looks at us, it makes him feel ashamed and it hurts him. So how the father gives the son a spanking when he get home, and then he's like, go get the belt. That does not mean God hates you because he's getting a belt on you. I mean, he's trying to give you reproof. Anyone who rejects reproof is a fool, and they will be destroyed for it. So yeah, God wants us to be walking in the right direction because he knows our desires, our decisions. He knows what we want in life will not benefit us. And with the world getting darker and the supernatural increasing, you're gonna have things. There's gonna be things happening that's gonna be very paranormal, and only those that are strong in the Lord will be able to withstand it. And anyone else who is still caught in the world, and those that do not keep God as their number one, they will be overwhelmed, and some people will kill themselves. And yeah, there's gonna be people that kill themselves. And then it's even written in the book of Revelations how people will seek to kill themselves, but they can't. Death is gonna be like death is running away from them. So that's how God will set it up. People are gonna try to kill themselves and they won't be able to kill themselves. And so God needs people to wake up before it's too late. Because God, it does say, seek the Lord while He's still here. And so I'm gonna continue. So it says, for you make a sore, so He chastises you sore. It doesn't feel grieved. It doesn't feel good, but that's what He does to wake you up, to refine you. Then He say He bindeth up, He woundeth. So He wounds you, He binds you up. Then it says His hands make whole. So He makes you whole through the sore and through the wounding. He makes you whole. So it says He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yeah, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. So when you realize that, when you really literally accept what I just said, when He said He shall deliver you in 6 troubles, that's a lot of troubles. That's 6 troubles. He's a God of all, He's an all supernatural God. He sees all, He knows all. His hand, the whole earth is in His hand. When you look in the sky, you're looking at God. When you look at the stars, when you look at the galaxy, that's God. So we, as us as people, we put God in a box. We look at Him as if just a man in the sky, when really He is the rain that thunders and roars. He is the thunder and lightning. That's God. So imagine He's all powerful, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. So just know He will keep you. He will deliver you in 6 troubles. He can even use the elements to fight for you. It says in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. So He's letting you know no evil will touch you. When you see these crazy things happening in the world, the supernatural increasing, and how the men that are being used to increase this wickedness, He wants you to be in full faith in Him. Because those same people that are pushing and causing wickedness to increase, they will be destroyed after that. So little do they know, their own hatred is going to drive them to the pit themselves. So it says, verse 20, it says, in famine He shall redeem thee from death. So even when famine comes unto the earth and increases, whether it be intentional or by mistake, by rebellion, God will redeem you from death. It says, in war from the power of this war. So he would deliver you from the war, from the power of this war. So, of course, there's going to be wars. There's going to be people killing each other, even over food. You're going to have people killing each other over food. You're going to have people killing each other probably for shelter, for water. And then, Then it says in verse 21, thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. So it's going to even be people speaking, like if you are familiar with craft, it's going to be increased level of an exposure of witchcraft. And a lot of people are going to be being destroyed because of the lack of knowledge of witchcraft. So Satan will be using witchcraft to destroy people. So when you're under the shadow of the Most High, he will hide you and shield you and anything connected to you from the scourging tongue of wicked men and women. So once people, it's going to be increased levels of people speaking evil against you. So that's a form of witchcraft. Jezebel. The spirit of Jezebel is going to be increased to a level that has been never before seen. So he said, neither shall you be afraid of the destruction when it cometh. So when you hear destruction coming and when you see it, God is like, I don't want you to be afraid. Because just as the evil is increasing, just know his angels are going to start increasing. And you're going to start to see them manifest. Ouch. It's going to be angels manifesting. And we know what angels look like, right? If you read the Bible, they're beasts. So God wants us to be ready because there's going to be people that have a faint heart. They're going to be scared out of their soul when they see these things. Like I said, God said it's written, he shows the secret things to his children. And so those people that, they might have been preaching for 20 years. They might have been preaching for 20 years. They're not going to see half of the things that the babes. So it's called babes. He says he's going to allow the babes to see and witness those secret things. Versus the prudent man, the wise man, the know-it-alls, the I'm mightier than thou. So the things that are secret, he will show the children of God. Those that are, weak, those that know that they don't know it all, he will show these things for them. So just know, angels aren't pretty. It's gonna be to the point you see them, you might faint. So God wants us to be ready and equip our spirit, man, increase our mind, so you will not want to kill yourself. Let me see. It just said destruction and famine, they shall laugh. So he says we should be laughing when destruction comes and famine. We shall laugh, and neither shall there be afraid of the beasts of the earth. So that's right there. So we should not be afraid of the beasts of the earth, because the veil is thin. If you know what a veil is, veil, it's a veil. Now you have two different veils. You got the veil that's over people's over people's eyes that make them blind to what's going on. Then you have a veil that keeps demons from entering the earth, because a veil is thin. Everyone knows about it. The veil is what's keeping the demons from manifesting physically. It's things that's unseen, but you have angels around you have demons around you, but they're gonna start. You know how you think you see something in the corner of your eye when you by yourself in your home, and then you look, you don't see it. Those things will start happening more and more. You're gonna start seeing things. It's gonna make people go crazy. But that's why God wants us to be surrender to him, because you're gonna see things. You're gonna see angels fighting for you. You have angels fighting for you, and they might pop up in front of you. You know all them sci-fi movies, Superman, all those type of movies. Those movies are made for a reason. So it's almost preparing you for what's to come. And one thing that's on my mind that troubles me is those that have children. They might have children at the wrong time. And God already said, woe to those who have child, who give suck in those days. So it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be grievous. Um, so God wants us to laugh when we see destruction. He said, "Thou shalt laugh, neither shall there be afraid of the beasts of the earth." He said, "For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at the peace with thee." And even the animals, animals, he said, they should be at peace with us. So if demonic activity increases, you're gonna see it in the animals as well. So imagine, how a lion acts, uh, how they roar and crazy, how they rip you to pieces, rip your head off. So he even wants you